What's up, my precious little pack, and welcome back to VEGA Conflict. No build talks or anything like that today. I have something else to talk about, so go ahead and sit back and listen in. First off, server outages are ongoing, and we've known that. They happen on a weekly basis now. It's typically at nighttime. I have a few things to say about that. The servers going down is almost as predictable now as the fleets that are being made in the game nowadays. It is becoming another obstacle in the game for late night gamers or night shift workers who go on break and log into the game to play a little. Well, it isn't okay for the game to crash them whilst their fleets are out of the base, because they could be out farming up resources, blueprints, or intel for an ongoing striker event. One, it cuts their time in-game short, so they aren't playing as much as they may have intended to. Two, anytime they can't log in and recall their fleets, they have a strong chance of losing their fleets and having less time in-game the next time they play. Three, the first two are more than enough reasons to chase free players away to more stable games, and I could recommend any number of them. I could recommend one that has a base of fans that is unlike anything Kicksite will ever have. But I'm not going to for this video. I just wanted to point these out. And in turn, giving your your coining player base less people to be able to bully and harass, which forces them to target each other until they get too bored and they leave due to lack of easy to pick on targets that don't cost them anything. And that's what they do. You see what I'm getting at here? The game's stability is a large factor in the game's overall feel, and if people can't log in, they won't know what the game is like to play and to experience. And that in its own is another video to make some other time. But it's an ongoing problem, and the fact that they seem to be becoming more and more regular for the server outages. At this point, I'm not even surprised. It's becoming more and more laughable. But another thing I wanted to touch on is, why repeat the same prizes in the major events during the month? Not the strikes, but the mobilization and decimation. One is okay to mimic the main event of the month for people who may need another chance to get the prizes they may have missed out on. But there is no difference between this decimation that is currently going on and the mobilization and prizes, aside from the mobilization had the... Actually, no, even decimation has the targets you can hit for certain boxes. I need a few Pegasus boxes, but will I be playing the decimation? Probably not. I'm building and upgrading stuff right now. Adding other prizes to the decimation or change the intel required to unlock a weapon, armor, or shield would have been more than fine in my eyes, but nothing was actually changed from what I can see. It's all the same, with the exception of the targets you hit or the prizes that the targets reward. That's about the only thing that I haven't bothered to keep an eye on because I haven't been playing much lately. I get on, do the daily mission, then log off, more or less. I know how important it is to advance in the game as well, and giving the player several chances to get the tech is great, but there are others that must be considered in these matters as well. At least offer some credits of older tech for the Axis and Xeno division, such as Tungsten 1 or Talonite 1, possibly the Xeno Disintegrator Cannon. Well, not the Disintegrator Cannon, the Xeno version, but standard Disintegrator Cannon level 1 as credits, instant equip things. Just put more effort into making the prize list during next month's mobilization and decimation more abundant in prizes than they are now. Also, include that month's main event prizes, but include something for the older factions as well. Because even I would be able to clean out the store. All I have to do is just literally start hitting targets. But again, I'm not going to be doing it. Now, why am I not going to be partaking in the decimation mobilization? I'm refitting my main fleet. And I'm not too worried about that. And the first set of the test ships came out, and the reason there was no video yesterday was because I wanted to produce enough of them. And I'm going to show you what they all are, and you have to have them at Mark III because you can't fit them fully when they're Mark I or Mark II. They have to be Mark III. And there is an alternate fitting to give them more armor than what they have now. And that isn't using the Xinthium, because as you can see, it's Metaphase 2, Xinthium level 3. the focused optics 5, and the reverberate 3 times 2, so it's on the ship twice, and nothing else because they're going to have one sole purpose. Now, the other fitting is actually equipping the antimatter scoop armor level 3, which actually gives you more armor for around the same mass as Talonite 3. And that's for the ship. And it occurred to me that it would be a 16% increase, but let's take a look at how they function in combat. Let's see how they fare against in-planet targets. Would they be randomly useful for farming, I don't know, level 27? Let's find out. I haven't hit 27. I've hit 23 and 25. Let's see just whether they do well or if they fail miserably against them. And the main goal of this was to let them auto-farm everything, and Reverberate bounces between targets and it gains damage as it bounces, and it's a cruiser-only weapon. It has low range, that's why I equipped the focused optics on them, but just watch this. Let's see how well it does. And that is a very beautiful sight in my eyes. Now, the cruiser that's out in the front is taking plenty of damage from the battleships that are about to disappear. And each ship is only a 36-minute repair time, but as you can see, they excel at destroying targets. They excel at destroying entire fleets due to their bounce. And it occurred to me that you could effectively use them the exact same way you'd be using a high-level fleet, i.e. you'd be using the Tier 7 ships, and free repair time. Now, how's that free repair time? Each one's only 36 minutes. 36 minutes and 10 seconds to repair. And you can give them more armor. But you can farm, as I just found out, level 27 fleets for free repair time. So you could farm cargo fleets. I wouldn't recommend the battleship fleets, though, because they would eat you alive. Because boosted battleships versus cruisers, they're going to do more damage naturally, and they're going to outrange you. And since the ship only has one special slot, it has one specific role. Now, how it'll do against the alien targets from an alien strike, I still have yet to find out. Actually, let's see if I can find a level 27 in-planet VEGA Armada. Let's see what the three of them can do. And the reason that I postponed the video and didn't do the recordings is because I actually wanted to get a full fleet of the 6 of them to test against the VEGA, the aliens, with the sole goal of just simply testing to see if they could fight the aliens with a fully fitted fleet for full boosted damage, but also be a low tier for fast production time. I'm trying to keep the production time of these fleets to under 24 hours so you can at least build one and start a second one each day, so you can have at least an outcome of 1.5 ships per day. And that's basically what these are. In the full build and fitting time for these ships, it'll only take you about 15 to 16 hours to produce each one, and as you see, most of the tech is researchable here, and then blueprint weapons, and I don't actually remember where I got the reverberate from, so keep an eye on the planet strikes, the sector strikes, and more. And currently we have a planet strike going on, and the prizes are actually one of my favorite weapons. I used the repeating Polaron ray on a few separate ships just because it bounces, it does good damage, and it spreads it out. But unlike the reverberate, it doesn't gain damage as it bounces, it loses it. So keep an eye when the reverberate is available. Definitely pick it up because it is for the cruisers. Here's VEGA Armada 27. Again, I'm going to let them full auto it and see what they can do against it. And the goal of doing something like this is simply just to test fittings, and the reason I don't recommend everyone else start building them right away is just because I'm still testing them. I don't know how they're going to function, whether they'll work or not, and stuff like that. And against the standard Reaper targets, you won't have squadrons to deal with, so you're just going to be mainly fighting individual alien ships. That one's going to be a pretty long repair time. Actually, it's only going to be about 10 minutes, so we lost about a third of its health. Yeah, it's lost about half. But they're good against plentiful targets where there's a large number of enemies in the fleet. But if there isn't a large number, then they're going to hurt because there's so few of them out that they typically get overrun while they're reloading. I don't expect that to be the problem in the fight against the aliens. I think that they should do just fine because the aliens, they have a very large number, so you're going to have plenty of targets for the reverberate to bounce around. And you just have to keep an eye on them. And they're only a 36-minute repair time per ship, so when the fleet is fully fitted, it'll only take you 2 hours and 30 minutes to repair because the additional 6 minutes per ship gives you an additional half an hour. Well, actually, it'll be 3 hours 30 minutes. Pardon that, I'm a bit tired. But 3 hours and 30 minutes, if they can at least farm level 40 or 50, and they can go through at least 6 or 8 of them at a time, I would say that that would be an acceptable fleet for a low tier for low production. You just have to make sure you get the reverberate one of the times it's available. The other fitting would be with Echo Ray. Now, Echo Ray, again, is a blueprint weapon that you can get through VSEC targets. And it is one that I never used, but it could be potentially used the exact same way, just like the repeating Polaron Ray. We have the Echo Ray right here. Let's take a look at the damage between the two. The Reverb Ray has the lower range, but it only bounces 3 times what its maximum chain damage is 88. Whereas the Echo Ray only is 67, so it'd be doing less with longer range, more bounces, so it'd be spreading its damage a little bit more widely, but it would be doing less damage in turn. So you could take your pick for which one you'd want to use. And the same fitting theoretically could be used for the other fleet that I was setting up, which would be these guys down here. And it could theoretically be done for these ones as well, except for they want to be high single target damage, and I'll test the two against each other during the next time that a strike is going on. Well, it may not be for a while because I'm currently refitting my main fleet for a sole purpose. But they're getting an entire refit, and by the time that I'm done with them, I should have, provided I've calculated everything out correctly, I'll have about 1 week in between primary fittings, because right now I'm refitting the ships that don't have alien weapons, so that's a day. Each one will effectively take about 2 days to refit. That one only took 3.5, well, 3 days, 8 hours, and some odd minutes, because it was, I had to equip it with something more. I had to equip it with the alien weapon instead of just boosting other stats. But I'll test the fleets out against the aliens, and I'll let you know which ones work better. If the lower tier ones with the spread out damage work better than the Revelation, then all you have to do is hit in-plant targets level 23 and 25, and you should be good to go. But that's going to be about it. That's all I wanted to talk about for now. I'm still working on the planetary target stats and stuff like that, so that video is being postponed, and the one that I mentioned about the 3 ships is being postponed in favor of a full fleet of 6, so I can fully test them, fully mark upgraded. Mark upgrades aren't that hard to get, though. You just have to be online on Tuesday of each week, and you have to farm up to level 25 in-planet VEGA cargo fleets, because that is the only way to get the Destiny Cruiser upgrade kit. Well, not kit, the patterns and parts. But I'm going to go ahead and end it here, everybody. If you have anything to add to anything that I may have said, or if there's another fitting that I may not have thought of for the Destiny, or for the... Well, actually, if there's any fitting that you know works well against the aliens that is low repair time from Tier 2 to be able to produce the ships quickly enough for low levels to advance at a steady pace, leave it below in the comments section for them. And if it's good enough and it keeps repair times low but allows the players to farm multiple times in the course of a day, I'll pin it to the top of the comment section for everybody to see. But that's going to be it, everybody. If you liked the video, feel free to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more daily, well, not daily yet. Just subscribe for more videos as I bring them out. And as always, everybody, I'll see you later.